Alright, how you doing? This is Shaun Friedman. My niche is urban beats and instrumentals. I'm a signed music composer with publishing agreements, plugging my stuff in film, TV, video games, and looking at seeing those ASCAP royalties come through one day. Kind of my retirement plan, hopefully. Anyways, just a little quick background there, and let's get it started. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on sampling, on Edison, on time stretching, on mixing, on mastering, and recording external audio, and overall sequencing and tips and tricks in FL Studio. This is my Alanis.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but hopeful, ready to pack my bags but stay local. What it all.
Okay, so this is one hand in my pocket. I do what's called a lyrical interpretation. You can look for that on my YouTube channel, Shaun Friedman. Well, it's going to be called Alanis. Well, no, it's going to be called Hand in My Pocket Lyrical Interpretation by Shaun Friedman. But you can always go to unbelievablebeats.com as well. And there's a free remix page. You can also get free remixes there. Alright, now let's get this started. Sorry it's taking me a while to get started here, just giving you some background info. Alright, right now I'm in FL Studio and I'm talking through mic input right here. 15, this is the mixer, and the input for the mixer is over here. So right now it says front panel 1, but notice right here this is ASIO for all. I'm using this because it's the only way it would record Camtasia. This is the screen capture. So and actually I recorded these vocals that you just heard with ASIO for all, and that's in options, audio settings. But that's a poor man's sound card. My real sound card is an old school M-Box 2. And a sound card will actually increase the volume for you. And you'll be able to hear instruments much more louder and with more power. And your whole mix with more power. Alright, back to the song. We can start just with that part. And now I'm on the FL Studio playlist. Here's my Alanis main loop. Double click. Notice right there, just double click. You can highlight certain parts of your playlist. Let's start with that one pattern, Alanis loop. Here's my Alanis loop channel. Clicked on it. Inside, this is the actual loop. But how did I even get this loop? This is pretty much the main part of my song. That loop plays a long time, and I have it actually going to my tempo right here, 191, but that's not the tempo originally of the loop. So to get things started, I can show you how to take any loop, seamless loop, and have it time stretched to any tempo you want. Alright, for this I use something called Edison, which is in FL Studio. You just click over here, and wherever your mouse goes, by the way, I'm circling this right now, it'll show what it is here. This square box, see, I just put my mouse here, now it says open new audio editor, so I'm going to click it. Alright, here's Edison, and you can drag things into here from your desktop, WAV files or MP3, but I don't want to do that because Camtasia is recording right now and it's going to screw up the screen. So you would go to load sample, and I have a folder called Alanis. I mean, this is where you go to any folder and just grab your WAV or MP3 or any other type of audio file. But here's the original Hand in My Pocket. Here's the one you just heard, MP3. Here's one called Live Performance, where I just put my overdubs on there, so I can sing the vocals for live, and then here's just the instrumental, no first verse, and Alanis is still on the hook. But back to the what I'm doing here with Edison. This is actually Alanis' song right here, and yeah, I actually got it online, MP3. I got a free download. I know that's another argument in itself, but I'm not going to get into it right now. And sometimes MP3s don't sound so great, sometimes they do. Just use your ears as far as discerning what you're going to sample. So this sounded okay to me, so I used it. So now this is Edison, and this is kind of just like a little editor inside FL Studio. Now notice when you hit the S button, while I load it up, this is all hand in my pocket. This is it.
I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed.
That red line, when you hit spacebar, it starts going. Now to hit page up, I'm using a Windows 7 Dell laptop. If I hit page up, it zooms in. I just kept hitting page up. Now I'm going to hit page down, 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 and it zoomed all the way back out. And also when you hit S, this shows a different view of the waveform, and a lot of these lines are super helpful for getting a seamless loop. You definitely need them. So here we go. Alright. So you can highlight here with the red as well. So I'm highlighting. It's about the area I'm going to need, and then I zoom in. Page up, page up, page up. But now I got to move this over on the bottom. Back to where it's highlighted. Page up one more time. And move this to the left again. Maybe page up one more time. And now I can see what's going on. And the beginning. See, this is very important, and you can hear my space bar. And that's obviously the downbeat of the loop you're trying to get a seamless loop of. And this button right here in Edison, and there's a little handy hint right here, it says loop. So I put that down, and then right here, that's where it's going to go back around. So you'd probably put it about here, and now hit spacebar and see what you got, and try to get into the groove of it. I usually start tapping the my table. Check it out. See, at the end sounds like too much space. And you get better with this in time, but this is the most important part of sampling. Once you get the seamless loop, you can do anything you want with it. So you can check out I'm gonna hit page up one more time. Page up, and see, I'm gonna hit S now, and now I can see this a little better. See, I want it to actually hit on the kick drum. That's cool. Let me move this over. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, that's pretty on the money, and you can adjust this ending. And then when you hit page up again, I just hit page up. Now this goes in like milliseconds. So I might just click a tiny bit here, like I just took a tiny bit off. Let's see. It's pretty good. I might want to add a little more. Right. Now it sounds like there's too much space again, so I'm going to take some off. So you really gotta, I actually will close my eyes, try to get into the groove without even looking at the screen, see what's going on, because this is so important. You gotta get the tempo right and everything. go a little bit further in. Yeah, maybe even a tiny bit further in because it was getting to that groove. And then I also do over here disable auto scrolling. I actually X that out so this doesn't scroll. Notice how it's just not scrolling along. Just hit page down again to zoom out a little bit so I can page down. Okay, so I can actually see the highlighted part at this juncture. Okay, there it goes. So yeah, I feel like I could go a little bit further in on this ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And of course I was zoomed out more, so this takes up, this holds more weight, you know. When you zoom in really close, then you're really only dealing with like tiny milliseconds, and you could fine tune it. And you know, other times it is possible to get lucky when it's zoomed out. You can kind of see the waveform, and if you feel the groove, go for it. If you have confidence in it, just do it. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is hit Control and Delete. Pretty much what I'm doing is, instead of right now the whole song is still here, I just want to hit Control and Delete, and this highlighted part is going to take up the whole Edison editor. Control Delete, and I'm going to hit S again, and now you can, this is just the loop now. There's no more song. It deleted the rest. Okay. And then, where's Control Delete? I'm trying to see what I actually did. I'm not sure what that was. It's some kind of a filter where it, you know, it's either cut. What's the opposite of cut? Can't seem to see it right now, but it pretty much takes away the rest of the song, and it just keeps you with the highlighted part. Alright, and now here's the most important part of actually using this in FL Studio. You need to get the tempo correct. So while it's playing in Edison, right click up here and go to tap. 1. Okay, I was in a pretty good groove right there, and I could tell that it's oh, it's ruining my other song now, but I could tell that the tempo of this sample is 185, and the most important part, yet again, you have to save that information inside of this sample, and then you have to save it on your computer or on an external hard drive. So I click, I'm going to right click right where it says hand in my pocket, and here's this tempo area, and when I was clicking it out, 185, yes, clicking it out, set myself up there for a little joke. Alright, 185, and I have to hit accept, and then watch what's going to happen over here where this little thing says tempo. It might be hard to read, but hitting accept, and now that says 185. And now this is still an editor. I got my loop going. If you do have click, if you hear some clicking in the front or the back, right click, tools, and there's declick in and declick out, and those come in handy big time. And even when it's in the FL Studio project, you can still use this stuff later and edit the sample back and Edison again. Anyways, okay, you saw what I did. I got the seamless loop, I did the tap tempo, I saved the tempo in the sample, but now you still need to actually save that information, or you can drag it out with this. See that? You can actually drag that into a new channel, or just by itself right here. If I let go, it'll become its own channel. But I'm not going to do that. I actually like going like this, save sample, and you have to just browse to wherever you want. And here's this happens to be called recorded lyrics and audio samples. I have an external hard drive for all this stuff. And as you can see right here, hand in my pocket remix Alanis. Then I would name it let's just do this as an example. First guitar loop tutorial. Bam. Now you have to know where that sample is, and you gotta go retrieve it if you didn't want to drag it out. The reason I don't drag it out is because I think in default mode it goes into a folder I think called recorded or possibly sliced samples or something else in the default for FL Studio, and I just want to stay organized. But how I actually would get it is once I'm in the song, which I'm in right now, I go to channels, and I just go to a sampler channel, and here I just created one as an example, and then the sample I just saved, I go to right in here, click on that folder, and I gotta go get back to that folder, which is right here. And okay, first guitar loop tutorial. It'll preview it a little bit if you click it, like I think like 3 or 4 seconds, but I'm gonna double click, and now it's in there. It's in there, and now I go file, save. Always save your stuff when you're doing this. I mean, all that work, you obviously want to save that little part. So here it is, and the next important part of actually getting it to stretch to any tempo you want. Once you're on the sample tab, you need to right click on time and go to auto detect, and look, it says 185 embedded. Yes, I think I want to do that, and that's the reason we saved it before. Bam. And final step, instead of resample, go to Pro Default. And there it is. And right now I'm on the Alanis loop pattern. Here's the sample channel we just added. Here, I'm gonna take that off. I just deleted that. And here's the this is gonna play it now. It's actually playing it to 191 up here. It's playing it to that tempo. Let's see if the loop goes seamless. Oop. Oop, let me get back to that. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid overall. And now that you saw how I actually did it, I'm just going to delete this channel, not to confuse anything, and go back up to Alanis loop. And from this point, click on Alanis loop to get it to different. I would send this to a mixer channel to have a little bit more control over it, which is right here. And that's FX1 on the mixer. See, I'm talking right here. See, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes all the way up. But loop 1 I renamed right here. If I hit play, see, that audio's coming through here. And on the default, I use FL Studio's thing where it's just like it has a default delay and reverb. And once I'm on loop 1, watch this. What is this on right now? It's on 6%. See, that's a reverb send. I'm sending that reverb. All you gotta do is click on. So you can click through each one, or use your on a Windows or Mac. I'm just using arrows. See how it's scrolling through each. I don't know if you can see that being highlighted, but it's scrolling through each mixer track. Now I'm on loop 1, and while it's on loop 1, if I raise up over here, it's gonna add some reverb. Hear that? So that was a lot. I think I used a lot. I think during my outro in that song, if you wanted to check it out. But obviously on this, it was only on 6%, so I just wanted a tiny bit. And also, looks like here's another little tip and trick for all of these mixer channels. Loop 1, I'm still on loop 1 over here. I can actually put this a little smaller together. Whichever one you click on in your mixer, you're going to have these 3 little EQs. And I use this if something is too much bass heavy, I turn it down a tiny bit. This is good to add some highs. See right there, it's going up. And I'll give you an example of that. The loop doesn't have much. I think I maybe took off a little there, but let's go back to the song. Okay, here's Baby on effects 25. Let's see. So this is Baby Vox is going to come in right here, and see over here I added some high end to it. It was already on there. So see, I add some more high end on Baby. Watch what that sounds like. She's all high end out. So whenever you're doing EQ, you know, right when you hear it kick in, you might want to leave it there or back off a tiny bit, just so things don't get too overwhelming. Okay, and as far as that Baby is actually concerned, dealing with mixing, let's see. To make it stutter, so when you hit a key, see when I let go, I can have it go long and then that's because on the this instrument tab on any sample, you give it the fast attack and then sustain and release. You put all the way to the left, and that way. See, I think let's see how it was defaulted. Let me reset everything. When this was first dropped into this channel, well, that's still kind of a bad example, but it would keep playing where it's unusable for any type of effect if you wanted to use it as I'm doing it here in the piano roll, which is another tip and trick in itself. Right here, I'm going to zoom in again. That's her baby. And it's good to do with cells, you know, as far as the size of notes, but also when you need to get not lyrical, when you need to do some digital surgery, so to speak, you need to go to none, and that way watch when I slide this. It's not with any grid whatsoever. See that? Show an example. Here's just an example of this. Yeah, that was too much of a stutter. See that bay was too long there. I want it shorter. That's about right. And last thing on this intro is actually harmonica. Let's see where it's at. Okay. Downbeat harmonica. Going to 14, mixer track 14. Oh, so it's right here. And there's absolutely no effects. There's nothing on this harmonica right here. 14. This is all flat, and there's no effects in this chain. And that's just straight up from the MP3 sample. Did not mess with it for this particular harmonica that comes up here.
Broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm short, but I'm healthy. I'm high all the time. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. Lost, but hopeful.
Here's vocal
ready
1.
To pack my bags, but stay local. What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright. I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind.
So, broke but happy, first verse is right here. Now notice, right when I clicked on this, look over here. This is my vocal.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm
going to solo it. And clicked on 27, that's broke but happy. And this. See, this is an easy way to get the low end off of your vocal track. You take this, low end, low, bam. You just flatten the guy out.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm...
And notice I'm still clicked on 27, and here's the reverb knob, and it's up to 34% on this particular one in 27, so that's how you're hearing that.
I'm broke but I'm happy.
And also, if I actually click on the reverb just to see what's going on inside the channel, notice right here, I flatten that totally out. Watch.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy,
more
I'm
low
high all
ends.
the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed,
Now,
lost
I
but
drop it
hopeful,
down.
ready to pack my bags but stay local.
It's going to open up the reverb a little bit. So this is actually on the reverb. I still cut off all those low end frequencies you don't need.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind.
And then right here, I added maybe a tiny bit of mid, just everything on default for FL Studio. And I also raised this up, and you can see how much you're raising it up in this little, the hint bar again. Let me go back to reset. This is nothing.
I'm broke but I'm happy,
Now
I'm
watch,
poor but
I'm
I'm
gonna raise it
kind,
up.
I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but hopeful, ready to pack my...
Now you heard how the high end got in there. Obviously that's way too high there, and you know everything's going to be playing together. So you got to use your ear while it's
broke but I'm happy,
going.
I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm
Raising
high
it
all
up.
the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but
I think I had about right
ready to
there.
pack...
In that particular case, it was at 6.4. But pretty much you just use your ears as it's playing along with everything.
Broke,
You don't have to solo things unless you're going into surgery.
broke,
You know, you solo things to make sure there's no pops and clicks, to check it with other things together. But you'll get the hang of it once you hear it in the mix, without the mix, at high volumes, at low volumes. You know, it's got to interpret into many sound systems, so you need to get all this stuff right.
broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind,
Now, on the overdub, broke but happy overdub, I'll just play those two together, I guess.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor...
Okay, here's the overdub. Same thing, low end completely down, and I raised up the high. And these both have zero. There's no effects. There's actually no effects. It just...
I'm broke but I'm happy.
There's the reverb. You know, I took off the low end. I raised the high up. And...
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor... I'm broke but I'm happy,
And on the overdub in this case, I panned to the left. Looks like it was around 53%. Let me go in the middle.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy,
You know, it still sounds fine, but I panned it 53 about to the left.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but hopeful, ready to pack my bags and stay local. What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright. I'm broke.
Alright, we can go over that, because the next two with high five.
I'm broke but
Let's see how that sounds with everything.
broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but hopeful, ready to pack my bags but stay local. What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright.
Alright, so let me just go to the high five part only.
What it all comes down.
These two. Okay, high five. Drop the low again. Raise the high. No effects. Now the high five overdub.
What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in...
There is oh, it looks like I didn't even lower the low on it, so all I would really have to do is bam. But there is a delay on this one. Now when you want to do an overdub delay,
what it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright.
And that's in time with the tempo, and also I pan this one to the right, and that's what I was getting to. That first overdub I pan to the left, next overdub I'm panning to the right, just to add a little bit of just a little more interest and keep it interesting a little bit. And sometimes when you pan to the left or right, it'll make it seem like the volume actually got louder, because you can hear it better in the mix. And I think that's the reason right here on that first overdub I lowered it down after panning. So, panning, you're going to need to adjust volume, and panning are hand in hand. So just use your ears and be careful with that part. So back to this delay. You go here. Well, while it's still clicked on the mixer, I'm on 30 right now, high 5 overdub. Replace that. I'm going to fruity delay. And from this point, you can get your tempo, which is right here. 191, so you got a tempo part, go to 191, or you can do half of that, 191 divided by 2, and see what happens here, because you got to deal with the steps. If you're dealing in 4/4 time, you're gonna be either 4 or 8 or 16 or 2 for the amount of delays. I'll show you.
What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket.
I think that's close to where it was. And input means fine is going to be even louder. Watch this.
What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright.
This is the cutoff is an effect for it. The feedback is how many times the delay occurs. And obviously this tempo is one of the most important. But obviously delay is a huge tool to your mix. So back here again, and then high 5 had some reverb. That's just the standard reverb when FL Studio loads up. And the overdub also had some reverb. And high 5 standard, had the high end I raised up here. And this one actually didn't.
What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a high five. Everything is gonna be alright, alright.
And it keeps on going through the verses. A verse plus the overdub, the verse plus the overdub, the verse plus the overdub.
I'm drunk but I'm sober, I'm young and underpaid. I'm tired but I'm working, monetary slave. I care but I'm restless, I'm here
this
but
one,
I'm really gone.
right now,
really Shaun, maybe I'm
low end gone.
What it all comes down
cigarettes,
to is everything is gonna be
low end completely down, raised up high end, little bit of reverb.
What it all comes down
next
to
one,
got it all figured out.
no low ends, raised up the high, little reverb. So have you seen a pattern here? Get rid of the low end, raise up this high, just go straight up with what's loaded up in FL Studio. You don't even have to mess with the actual frequencies. They got it set good, man. Just lower the low and raise up the high a little bit for use your ear on each verse. So that about sums up the vocals. And while actually recording the vocals, here's the mic input 15. Back to this again, ASIO for all. I actually did not have, you have to, have a pop filter, and this is a Rode NT1A condenser microphone, and it's probably too much reverb right there. There you go. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, well, in an actual record mode, if you want to see an example of that, I just record the stuff to the playlist. Baby, 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 baby. But I would, see, this is my mic right now. I would add, I would add a little bit of reverb. Like this while I was performing, at least. And now you can just right-click on this little disc icon to record into FL Studio. But I actually left-click, and I go back, to that folder again. and I save my audio sample there again. Hand in my pocket remix. I'm gonna say audio intro baby baby baby. Now it's ready to go. You gotta see where you're at here. You know, you can highlight certain parts that you want to record over, but for right now I'm just doing the intro. 3, 2, 1 is clicked, and I say what do I want to record? I want to record I go into the second one, into the playlist. Here we go. Baby 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 baby. I'm broke but I'm happy. Okay, so I just actually recorded baby baby baby. Now where'd it go is the question. Here, this is a perfect example. 16 right next to mic input is open, so I'm gonna rename it baby baby baby, and I gotta send, it's gonna be the last one that we just did. Let's see if it's there. It did not record it for some reason. I think probably because Camtasia is recording the stereo mix. But as an example, at that point I would just send the channel to, you know, the same effects channel we dealt with before. Hi-hat. Broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time. So here's the hi-hat channel. Where am I here? Oh, okay, here's the hi-hat. Right here is the sequencing of it. Okay, here goes FX2. So now, yeah, channel 2. You see it coming through there. Now on the hi-hat, hey, what a surprise. On my hi-hat channel, this low end's completely down. I raised up the high, and I do have a little bit of reverb on there. But sound, you know, with everything, it's gonna sound more in tune with the mix. Broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time, I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed, lost but hope. So, you know, I do lower, you want to do this for a lot of stuff. Let's see if I just go to the left. I'm going to go through my mixer one thing at a time, and let's keep our eyes right over here. Right now it's on hi-hat, kick main. I actually raised this up a touch, and by touch, I mean like 1 dB. It'll tell you in this little area. The low is very sensitive, so, you know, I either raise it up 1 or lower it by like 1 or 2, maybe. If there was a problem with something with bass, I would lower it a tiny bit. Still scrolling through the mixer. What was that? Oh, kick main. I did have one sound effect on here called Sound Goodizer, and that would be raised all the way up. Literally, I put that much of an effect on that kick, which just brings it. Sound Goodizer, just like a little bit of compression. Kick high, nothing there. Snare crack. That's actually the snare. Yep. Okay, I'm on my snare. I have a little bit of reverb, and I did not lower the low end that time, and I raised up the high a touch. Okay, by 1.2 dB. You know, on the vocals, it was like this. I raised it not that high, but a little higher. But on this one, I did it a touch, 1.2, and I didn't get rid of the low because I still wanted it to kind of stand out. It is the main snare. Snare end. Okay, what is this? Single kick. Single kick, I raised up the high right there. Blip effect. Let's see if I can play that. That's kind of what I've... Blip. Yeah, that one. I only took off a little bit of the low, raised the high, and I got the reverb on there. But also don't forget, on my actual reverb channel, I lowered all the low on the reverb send track. So that's the blip, triple cymbal. Okay, that's the symbol I have in the song, which is right here. I raised up the high just right here. Maybe took off a tiny bit of the low, and then that's some. Oh yeah, that's a lot of reverb. Same reverb send. See, without it, it's just boring. Oh yeah. Put that in there. Part of the song.
Broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time. I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm healthy, I'm high all the time. Yeah, one other one is flicking cigarettes at night. What is this feeling inside that I continually fight? Right?
This is the second hi-hat right here. Oops.
Signed to a vet. At first I was meek, but now I connect. I'm free but I'm focused.
And on that second hi-hat, which is right here, I raised up the high and took off a little bit of the low. Harmonica, I put a little bit. This one, I can tell over here I gave it a little bit of mid-range, tiny bit. And the next part would actually be a lot when Alanis comes in.
I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm poor but I'm kind, I'm short but I'm pocket. The other one is held in a taxi cab. And isn't it ironic? I'm happy but I'm sad.
Here she is right here, 18. Here's the harmonica. Added some high end right there. 20. Cigarette. Harmonica here. Next piece. Add a little high end there. And notice on these, I am not going to take out the low end because those samples, and by the way, every sample you just heard there, I use the same technique as the original intro I showed you for the first loop. Always use the same technique in Edison, which is get a sample in Edison, get a seamless loop, tap the tempo, save the tempo correctly inside of it in Edison, and then either drag it or save it into your computer, where you can then retrieve it. But all of this, any sample I ever do is all through Edison. And I've sampled a lot of songs, in addition to my original beats and instrumentals. Okay, so where we're at here. Okay, I think that I noticed a little bit of delay on the peace sign. Let's see. Peace. High five. Peace. Should be like right there. Let's see what's going on there.
One hand in my pocket, and the other one is giving a peace sign.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. You can hear the delay on there. Okay, now for delay, like something like that. What that is pretty much automation, because I only wanted the delay. You might have noticed on the vocals, I usually just keep the delay on the overdub vocal track, or sometimes I will automate it. But on something like this, look right here, there's an effect here. Here's the peace sign track. A little bit of high end again, just a tiny bit on that one. But you'll see this delay. Watch this button if you can see it. Right in here, when she says sign, it's going to turn on. See, it just actually turned off. Here it comes. Here's the settings for it. 191. Oop. Sorry about that. And the next thing she says is playing a piano. Oop, this is too much reverb. Yeah, she says playing piano next. Anyways, so back to peace sign. Sign. Now, to record that, you have a couple options. You could, anything that has a button in FL Studio, from this to this volume, to the panning, to the volume here, to anything in here, anything you put on here, this compressor, I just put this compressor, this gain, this ratio, this. Any parameter setting, you can record like on and off buttons or knobs where you go back and forth by just recording it. So, for an example, I would hit, on this one, for that I would actually go to, highlight where it's at in the song. Just like right now. Start at one hand and then. And I would actually, on this button, I would hit it green right when she says sign. But I would probably click it off right as this is counting down. And when you hit record, you go automation and score. Automation and score. Here you go. Off. Just turned it off. Now I'm going to turn it on. That was actually a live automation. As soon as she said sign, well, as soon as it hit the downbeat of my recording, I actually turned it off because it was on. But then as soon as she said sign, oh, well, there, you just heard what I did, I guess. Almost. But I clicked the green, and then it's gonna go with whatever settings you have, in your delay. But that's automation. Another way for automation, the same way I described that you can automate anything with recording it, like on and off buttons and knobs, you can actually do it sort of like instead of playing something in with the keyboard, you want to use the piano roll and paste in, copy and paste, use a pencil, use a paint tool. You can do that with automation. And I would zoom in a little bit. There's some automation already there. So you highlight where you want to be. Alright, I want to be here. Now all this in here. And you go back over here. Alright, let's just say that was like that. You can right click on the button now. Right click on what you want to control. Create automation clip. And now it's right there. It just created in this particular section. See, it's on. It's on. That delay is on that whole thing, and that's impossible for this particular demonstration and for the song in general. In my final mix, there's no way I could have had that. So I had to just have it on her last word there when she said sign only, and that's still a slippery slope. That was a tough one to use that delay on, but it's fine. And here's the actual automation clip, and then you'll notice I'm just messing around with this little circle there. Here's all the hint bars again. Right now it's on there goes the percentage, 100%. This line, and there's 0. So here's 0, and then you just you can right click to make a new point. Right click again, make sure you don't go too far outside this area. I just right clicked again, and I'm gonna right click again. Yep. No, move that over. No, move this back. Yeah. So in this example, if the vocal, let's look at the little hint bar. It says 82%. So it's 0, and then it just turns on right here. This is pretty much the instructions to, hey, yo, turn on the delay right here. And automation works with vocals. If you want to lower the volume of a vocal track, raise the volume of a vocal track, automate your reverb and automate your delay like we're doing now. Those are usually the main characters in music production. Let's see what happened here. But yeah, I'd have to know where she's actually... So right here, it would have came on right there, but peace sign obviously ended. Right here, that's peace sign right here. So, if I wanted to actually do it, and then turn off, I'm just right clicking and then it kind of forms these little things. Right click, then left click, and you'll see how it forms. Ooh, yep. It got the peace and the sign, and then totally cut it off here. So I'd have it keep going a little bit, and then probably shut her down. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, so that time, you know, it got peace sign, peace sign, peace sign. You know, in the version that's finished, it only got sign. Because I'm not sure if I did it this way, or I think I actually opted for the recording way and just, you know, hit the green like I showed you before. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let it go, and now we got the outro, and I got mastering, and we're pretty much almost done. Sampled in Edison. Little reverb. Harmonica. Here's the bass line. Here's the bass right here. I did take off a little bit of low, especially for this video, because I didn't want it to be too distorted. And yeah, here's the bass line. OSC bass. It'll come in right in a second. And I lowered this down by, like, in the version that's done, about 1.2. Watch. See that took off any low end. Now it's back. Now I'm just gonna lower it about 2.2 dB. But you know, things that do not have bass, you can take off the low. Most of the time, it's your vocals, the hi-hat, and whatever else you don't want to have the low. Now for the master track. Get ready for this one. And if your niche is like me, urban beats and instrumentals, or probably anything that's recorded into here, and I do have another side video on this called How to FL Studio Mastering, but literally on the master track, well, there is one other thing, but all I really use is the TLS maximizer. Now I'm on the master track. I pulled this over about to the...
I'm broke but I'm happy.
So ready?
I'm poor but I'm kind.
Without...
I'm short but I'm healthy. I'm high all the time.
That's without TLS. I'm going to play it without, then I'm going to turn it on. Right now, no TLS, no TLS.
I'm broke but I'm happy.
No.
I'm poor but I'm kind.
Ready?
I'm short but I'm healthy. I'm high all the time.
I'm going to turn it on, start of next bar.
Ready to pack
Here we go.
my bags but stay local. What it all comes down to is everything is gonna be fine. Got one hand in my pocket and the other one in a high five.
Starting from scratch, it was like this. You know, you load up TLS maximizer, and I pull this to the right. Ready?
I'm poor but I'm kind. I'm short but I'm healthy. I'm
boom.
high
I heard it kick in, and that's all I did.
I'm overwhelmed.
That's really it. Now it sounds like I could have kept going a little bit, and I probably could have, but I was just being careful. And then there's also EQ on the TLS Maximizer. I don't even mess with, I keep the defaults, keep this high in there, and sometimes I raise up the high just a tiny bit on the TLS. And the only other thing in my mastering chain is the Sonic Maximizer. And you're gonna think this might be a little funny, but this makes a difference. I only raised up the high 0.1. Listen to this. I'm gonna raise it up.
I'm broke but I'm happy.
Raising
I'm
it up.
But I'm kind. I'm short but I'm healthy. I'm high all the time. I'm sane but I'm open.
That was me raising it up to over 5.8. So, I heard it kick in. I know this thing is very sensitive, and I only give it 0.1 of high end, and here's low end. Kept it at 0. So, literally 0.1 dB of this Sonic Maximizer in this particular mix. Every mix is a little different. There's baby.
I'm broke but I'm happy. I'm poor but I'm kind. I'm short but I'm healthy. I'm high all the time. I'm sane but I'm overwhelmed. Lost but hopeful. Ready to pack my bags but stay local.
So that about sums it up. Let me just zoom out and show you the whole track. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's the intro. Here's where all my verses are, and this is the Alanis stuff down here, and then the outro, and then all my audio for my the verses. Oops. There they are. They're down there. There's all my audio when I when I attempted to show you how to record into the playlist from the mixer with that little disc icon, and then you rename it. And that's all this stuff right there. And then it turns into a channel. Then I send it to the right mixer track on here. And that about sums up this tutorial. Hope you learned a little bit, and good luck with your projects.